Tongariro National Park is burning once again, after, of course, only being on fire last month. As of last night, the fire had scorched through 322 hectares, and it's something experts are warning could become more frequent, as post-fire vegetation is typically more flammable. Nicola has been studying the Tongariro fire ground since the November blaze, and she joins us now. Good morning to you. How concerned are you that we have had not just last month's blaze, but so soon after another?
Kia ora. Yeah, it's extremely concerning that we have two fires that are really close to each other. So, so frequent. It's really concerning. But it's actually everything that the climate change modelling has been telling us for quite a few years now, unfortunately. We expect to get hotter and drier conditions, and all it takes is a little bit of ignition from some source, and then the whole thing will take off, unfortunately. So yeah, really, really concerning that this has happened pretty much right next to where it already burned. I'm very heartened to hear that it sounds like it's pretty much under control. But I'm not sure what the ecological impacts are going to be, because funnily enough, we were actually going in yesterday just to see for the first time the ecological impacts of the first fire. So sort of trying to assess how severe the fire was, and if there were the plants that had survived, which ones survived, which ones didn't. That was kind of what we were planning on doing. And then unfortunately the second fire started, and so that has sort of delayed our efforts.
So did you literally have to do a U-turn and go home, did you? Were you there?
Yes, I'm back home, as opposed to being up a mountain looking at some beautiful native flora. So yeah, I had to boost it home yesterday. We just wanted to get out of the way, because you never know how quickly these fire situations can evolve, and we thought, we'll just get out of the way.
So it's only December. You've said that it's already concerning to have two. Based on the ecology of that area, is it prone to fires? Because at least in my memory, I don't remember it being on fire at all before November, or at least not this often.
Yeah, so in the last sort of 5 or 10 years, we've had the most frequent, the largest wildfires that New Zealand has experienced in recent history. So, for example, a lot of my work has been done in the South Island and a number of different fires there, and looking at impacts on different types of tussock grassland vegetation, which is what is on Tongariro as well. And unfortunately, we are starting to see these fires become really, really big, and unfortunately now more frequent as well. So there's a lot of modelling that suggests that this will become more and more common, unfortunately, and we don't know what the impacts are. So some of my work from down south, like after the Lake Oahu fire, we've been doing some really long-term monitoring to assess the impacts of those fires. And I have to say, I've been slightly surprised at how well some of our native plants have survived the fires. So I'm hopeful that the same can be said once Tongariro, once the smoke is cleared, and we can get out and really assess that properly.
Fingers crossed. That said, is our native tussock and the like particularly flammable?
Yeah, I mean, if we take a really long-term view of Aotearoa New Zealand, we have a very naturally low fire ignition rate. So actually pretty much all fires in Aotearoa New Zealand now or wildfires are lit by humans and often accidental. And when we have flammable plants like the heather, the invasive species that's on the invasive weed that's up on Tongariro, that's really, really flammable, so that really loves fire. Yes, our native tussocks also love fire. And when people first arrived and they brought fire with them, we actually had a big transformation of areas that were covered in forest. And then our grasslands became more and more widespread. So we've already seen this massive landscape change in terms of how fire has changed our landscapes. And now we've got this kind of more flammable vegetation.
That doesn't sound like particularly good news. So fingers crossed the summer ahead doesn't contain more of this. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Nicola Day, fire ecologist, who is literally studying. She's doing her postdoctoral fellowship, I think, on the resilience of ecosystems under changing fire conditions. So there's, unfortunately, plenty for her to study.